and welcome back to our program. The federal government released its obesity map this week, showing where around the country we have such a big obesity problem. And the fact remains that Americans are fat and getting fatter, and it's a real problem in terms of the cost of health care. Some 15% of all health care costs are related to obesity. You've got problems with diabetes, you've got problems with kidney disease, you've got heart problems, a number of problems that accentuate because of the obesity problem. Now let me tell you where it is in the country. By the way, Colorado leads the country in terms of being the healthiest, with only 21% of their population being obese. Interesting, 10 years ago, 21% was about the highest there was in the country. Now it's the lowest, so we're gaining dramatically in terms of the overall rate of obesity. Colorado gets at 20.1%. Mississippi, our neighbors down where I live, get about 35%. Louisiana gets 33%. We're not doing good at all good where I live. Overall, the South was 29.5%. The Midwest, 29%. You think those husky, lean Midwesterners that work hard on the farm would be healthy. They're just as bad off as the folks in the South. Northeast, about 25%, and out west, 24.3%. A little better, but not a heck of a lot better. And so the government is through a debate right now. Our Congress is debating, what do we do about it? What is the proper role of government injecting itself into your lives and how you live your life, how you eat? And I'm very much a proponent of the government staying out of making decisions involving me. But on the other hand, I'm also a big proponent of those who disregard common sense and how they eat doesn't infringe on me where I got to pay for their costs. What I'm saying is someone who's irresponsible, who gouges themselves with the Twinkies and the sugar and the Cokes and all these things that make themselves overweight, then they get sick or ill and go into the hospital, and I've got to pay for it, and you've got to pay for it. I don't think that's responsible either. I don't think that's government telling you or me what to do. I think it's protecting me, my tax dollars, from having to pay these outrageous health care costs. We do so out of the general fund of our taxing authority to pay for those who are not responsible and taking care of themselves. So my solution or my focus on this amounts to this direction. If I've got to pay for your lifestyle, for your irresponsible lifestyle, or pay for you to get food stamps, to get public welfare help, to get subsidized lunches in schools or breakfast in schools, then I ought to have a say-so on terms of what you eat. If you're getting subsidized, let's take the food stamp issue. We talked about that in the show a few weeks ago. We talked about the fact that the food stamps were being, first of all, you've been given a card where you can take it and cash it at the casino. You can cash it at any ATM machine. We found people using the card where they were supposed to be getting welfare and food stamps, paying for everything from tattoos to lap dances to cruises to any kind of food they wanted, alcohol, and using it to go and gamble. That's completely irresponsible. If you're getting food stamps, not only should it be for food, it should be certain types of food. It should be healthy food. It should be the basics. It shouldn't be the huge, big cut medallions of beef or filet mignon. It should be the basic cut of beef, the basic fruits and vegetables that you need. Again, that's because I protect your right to choose. I'm okay with you choosing. I don't want government telling you what you can and can't eat unless we're paying for it. You see the difference? Big, big difference. We're paying for it. That applies to lunches. Schools, by and large, have been kicking and screaming to come in to have a more healthy lunch perspective. And I'll give you one example why. I used to be in politics in my home state of Louisiana, and I proposed a change in the law that you couldn't have these soda machines, all these sugar-loaded soda machines in the schools. You had to have healthier drinks in the schools. And you know who opposed me the most on that? I had high school football coaches coming up to the table in the legislature and saying, oh, we can't have that. That's wrong. That should be our choice. And you'd quiz them, and the real reason was that they used the income from those machines to buy the school uniforms. And I understand a coach wanting to have the money to buy the school uniforms, but not at the expense of the child eating all these fatty foods. Apparently, the kids weren't getting buying as much from the healthy drinks and the healthy food as they were from the sugar-coated drinks. That's just one example. If you can't get any cooperation out of the coaches, you wonder who you can get cooperation out of. So obesity is growing. It's a massive health problem. It costs about $150 billion a year extra in healthcare costs because of this irresponsible obesity that you and I have to pay for. So again, I don't want any mayor telling me what I can eat or anything like that. I got no problem, by the way, with putting the trans fat on the menu and letting me know on the menu exactly what I'm eating. I like that idea. Let's have full freedom and lay it all out. Then I can make my choice. If I'm paying for it, I can make whatever choice I want. But if you're not paying for it, if somebody else's tax dollars are paying for it, then I think government, that you and I have a legitimate role to tell people what they can eat so that you and I aren't paying the continuing health care costs. It's a problem, folks. It's not going to go away. It's growing. The cost is just astronomical, and we've got to get a handle on it. And I feel very strongly about it, and I hope you agree. I just think that's common sense. Be back right after this message.